I think we're gonna talk some baseball right now, right? Yeah, the Bulldogs in the house. Kenny Sanders is here. How are you? It's great to see you.
I'm doing great. It's great to be back in Appleton. I must admit I was here probably 40-some years ago when I did play with the Brewers, because I was one of the original Brewers, came here in '70. So I'm sure it was on the Banquet tour then, so it's good to be back.
It's great to see you, Ken. I'm going to do this. I'm going to give you your own mic, too.
Great.
We'll do that. I love live radio.
Yeah.
We make it work, right?
It is.
But let's talk about that experience a little bit. You know, '69, they're the Seattle Pilots. 1 year later, just 1 year into their existence, they come to Milwaukee, and suddenly they're the Milwaukee Brewers. And I think everybody knows the story. You rip the Seattle off the jerseys, throw Milwaukee on there, and go to town. What a time, huh?
Well, you know, it was a scary spring training for 4 of us who were traded from the Oakland A's to the Seattle Pilots. And we go to spring training, they file bankruptcy. So, of course, on everybody's mind is, are we going to get paid? Yeah. Do we have a team? Where are we going to play? What do we do with our families? So 5 days before, as you described, ripped the uniforms up, and Seelig bought the team and came to Milwaukee. So
wow,
the rest is history.
It's unbelievable, and obviously Commissioner Seelig now just inducted into the Pro Baseball, or into Cooperstown, into the Hall of Fame. Cool moment for you to see Bud Seelig, just knowing everything that went into bringing that team to Milwaukee?
You know, it is, and I have to this day a great relationship with Bud, and Seelig's been to our kids' weddings, etc. And I look at all he went through when he bought the team for $10 million.
Yeah.
You can't even get an average major leaguer for that price.
Right.
And then, you know, what he experienced as an owner, what he experienced as a commissioner. Because, you know, he had some great challenges in those years with the drugs and the basic agreements between the players and the owners. And so I really commend him on all those things, and especially, you know, being inducted in the Hall of Fame.
Well, baseball, obviously, baseball in Wisconsin, very near and dear to the heart of Bud Seelig, being a Milwaukee guy. All right, this current Brewers team, how much do you stay up to date with what's going on right now with this team?
Well, I keep apprised of it, and, you know, I probably learned more in the 2 hours driving up here from Milwaukee, because I was with 3 people in the Brewers organization. And Tom Flanagan, who's head of the scouting department and farm director. But I like the way they're moving, and I'm excited about some of the young players they have. And it makes me think, going back to the early '70s in my career, the Oakland A's won 3 consecutive World Series, 72, 2, 3, and 4. And they did it with homegrown players. And I think that's what you need to be consistent. Yes, it's hard in a small market, but it can be done, and you just have to have those quality players. And we're on pace with the young players. Equivalent talent as a Fielder, a Braun, J.J. Hardy. So there's some exciting years ahead for us.
I think a lot of baseball fans in the state love hearing that. We're chatting with Ken Sanders, the Bulldog, former Milwaukee Brewer, live from the Red Smith press party preceding the Banquet right now. You know, we talked about Commissioner Seelig there for a minute, and I'm just curious to get your thoughts. Obviously, Rob Manfred has come in and taken over the job of commissioner, and he's made it a point to make some things a priority in terms of, you could say, speeding up the game is one of the things that comes with that. Have you had a chance to sort of feel out where Commissioner Manfred's trying to go with the game right now? Do you like some of the things that are on the table with baseball at this point?
Well, I do. There are a couple of things that we'd like to see the game speeded up. Speeded up. And, you know, like I'm a diehard Packer fan also. And everybody knows the playing time in football is 12 minutes, and now it's gotten to be 3.5 hours for a game. In baseball, you know, it's the only sport that doesn't have a time clock. So maybe we need to install some kind of time clock. And we know in all sports with instant replay, it really slows the game up. And yes, some calls are overturned. But you know, the great call at the end of that Packer game, they did replay that, and the officials got it right that he was in. So is it really necessary for all these instant replays? But we do need to speed up the game of baseball.
Well, I ask you, as a pitcher, would that bother you, knowing that there's a clock out there potentially?
No, I like to pitch fast.
Okay.
I like to get the ball thrown. And you know, all of the players like it that way, because the players, if you get out there on the mound and get the ball and throw it in a timely fashion, they're ready to play. They're down. But if you're throwing 3 balls, 2 strikes every batter, and you're digging around on the mound, then all of a sudden they're as I heard somebody say, lollygagging around on the field.
To quote a pretty good baseball movie at that. I like it. Ken Sanders is joining us on stage representing the Milwaukee Brewers here tonight. I know we're all excited about spring training less than a month away, and then maybe we could start to forget about what's going on outside here in Wisconsin right now. Ken.
You're right. It was a little snowy driving up tonight, so I'm like everybody here. I'm actually anxious for some warmer weather, and of course the Packers are going to play in a warmer climate this week.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be great to see. You go to the Dome, you go to Atlanta, and either way, the going away party for the Georgia Dome there in Atlanta, whether Atlanta wins, let's hope not, or loses, hopefully that's the case. But yeah, and then we get on to spring training, get down to Maryville and Phoenix area, and that should be a lot of fun to see another season, as you talked about earlier, with a lot of young stars. So, Ken, thanks so much for being here tonight. I appreciate
Great to be here.
Appreciate the time on stage.